Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Traveling solo can seem intimidating, but our next guest says the rewards are endless if you are willing to take the leap. Here with advice on how to travel by yourself, we welcome back the author of Table for 51, Shari Leid. It's so nice to see you.
Hi, it's great to be here. I'm already thinking, okay, what vacation can I do
know, where
next?
should we go? Well, let's talk about just getting the courage, right? Because for some people it can seem really intimidating.
Yeah, definitely. And it's taking that first move, and trying it for the first time. For me, I just ended a 27-year marriage, and I was the mom that planned all the family trips.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I don't want to stop doing vacations. How do I do this?
Yeah, just make it look different and make it work for you in different ways. Okay, so let's talk about the self-discovery that you can have happen when you're not on somebody else's itinerary. You can kind of discover new things that you enjoy.
Yeah, and you can actually think, when you're thinking, okay, what do I want to do? How do I want to spend my time? You start asking your questions like, what gives me joy? And, do I want to be around groups? I just met a friend, and he's actually also recently divorced, and he said he likes to go on cruises now.
Oh, fun.
And he always meets people, because he's an active young guy, and he chooses cruises that have the activities that he loves.
Fun.
So he knows he's going to get that dopamine hit when he's there. And you look at his pictures and you would think he'd been with these people,
right?
That he was traveling
lifelong
with friends. Yeah.
That's so funny. Is that a good idea of a place to start too? If you're thinking, I'm too scared to do this, pick something that you know that you love and kind of make that part of the destination.
Yes, it could be, something like, for me, it wouldn't be his activity.
Right. A little more relaxing.
I would go maybe to a spa, but maybe to a spa that has classes where I can interact with other people.
There you go. I love that. Okay, and then once you do make the leap and build up that courage to go, you can actually build more confidence throughout the journey.
Yes, and confidence means, whatever is thrown your way, you can handle it. And I've traveled a lot through business, and I've had some downtime during business, and I've gone on TripAdvisor and picked fun activities to do. And the more you do that, you realize, okay, no matter what comes my way, I can handle it. I can figure it out.
Well, and what about just the freedom and the flexibility? Because we've all been on kind of overscheduled family trips or work trips. When you really realize, wait a minute, I can totally plan this however I want, that's incredible.
It's absolutely magical. And especially, if you are somebody who this is kind of new for, maybe you got out of a relationship, you haven't traveled alone, think of this as a time it's a gift. You might not have this time again later.
It's true.
So this time that you have alone to do what you want, it's a gift.
Well, and then talk about those meaningful connections that you can make with new people. I can think of people I've befriended in travels, and you don't see each other hardly ever again, but you can keep in touch online, and you can really have a wonderful friendship that was so unexpected.
I've met more people traveling alone than I ever did as a couple or as a group, and it makes sense, right? Because you might go into the hotel restaurant and sit down, and there are so many single travelers or even other people that are traveling in groups.
It's true.
And people are so much more open to talk to you when you're there alone.
There you go. Well, and then what about the empowerment that you get from it, and then you can take that to other parts of your life too?
Absolutely. So empowerment's different than confidence. Like I mentioned, confidence is knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. Empowerment's more external, knowing that you're in charge. You have the power to do things and figure things out yourself. And I think that's especially good as you get older. So I would say even if you are in a couple relationship, if you're able to travel by yourself every once in a while, God forbid something happens and you're not in that couple anymore and you're older, maybe widowed, you're not afraid to travel. Because it's really easy, if you haven't done it for a long time, to have that fear.
It's true.
So it gives you that sense of power, like you can handle it, you can plan, you have that power.
Yeah, and I think it can be important too to find your own sources of joy, right? Outside of your partner, things that fill up your cup that don't have anything to do with your relationship or your family situation at the moment.
And it makes you interesting. You have something new to talk about.
Okay, what about, this is a big fear that people have, dining alone. That sounds really scary. Do I bring a book? Do I look at my phone, but I want to be approachable? How do you get over that?
I think whatever is comfortable for you at first. And if it's your goal to dine alone and meet people actually, then you don't want to bring that book or that phone. And you might want to sit at a bar as opposed to a table by yourself.
That's always easy.
My friend, though, who went on those cruises, he actually said one mistake he did is he went and he told them, they knew that he was traveling solo. They sat him at a table, a big table by himself. So his advice was, if you go on the cruise, the only suggestion he would make that he would do differently is tell them he wants to sit at a different table where there's a space every night because he's traveling solo and he'd love to meet as many people as possible.
That's a great idea, though. Kind of rope in whoever's there with you, either staff-wise or other people in a hotel you're staying at. They can be part of it too, and then that makes it kind of an adventure for everybody.
Yeah, and his table, it was family style, so he had these big plates.
That's hilarious.
It was kind of funny.
What a great story, though.
Yeah.
That's incredible. What do you think about passing this on to your own kids? Because I know they're becoming young adults now.
Yes, they're in their 20s. Absolutely. I would say, go ahead, go for it. Travel alone. Enjoy. And I kind of think this next generation is more comfortable with that because they actually can stay connected. You know, they have they have their phones, their smartphones, which is something that came into my life after I had kids.
Exactly.
So when I was their age, if I traveled alone, it was a letter, and hopefully somebody got it a week later.
Exactly. What a different experience.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel as lonely now.
That's so true. Everyone's just a phone call away. It's always so nice to see you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully I have a trip to tell you about the next time I'm here.
I can't wait. I'm going to come up with one too. Okay, Shari's book again is Table for 51, and we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.